This is my room in Carmel. It took me about 14 hours to get here, but everything was smooth. The weather was good. Just a long day. It's got kind of a I'm at the top of a 2-story little cottage here. TV tucked under the roof. Seating area. Then you come back around. There's your old standard motel photograph. Come back around, there's my other nightstand. The bathroom. Nice as it could be. Come back out where the bed is. And you see a narrow little door. So open that up. And here's a little closet. The luggage stand. A part of an ironing board. And a few hangers. And in case you need it, there's a fan. But as I was driving through to get here, I'm at the Green Lantern Inn, there were people in town going to dinner wearing puffy coats. And I started to bring my puffy coat, and now I wish I had. But it's all good. This is Carmel City Beach about 7:30 on Wednesday, July 16th. That goes south down toward Big Sur. I can hear the surf break if I open the window there in my room. I'm going to pan over to the north. That right there is Pebble Beach Golf Course. I think I'm the only person out here wearing shorts. Back to Pebble Beach Golf Course. Ooh, I'm gonna get my feet wet. That's the Pacific Ocean. And once again, we're back down south. John Steinbeck wrote County Row in 1945. It was set during the Great Depression in Monterey along a street that was named Ocean View Avenue. The story revolves around the people that are living there. One of the main characters is Doc, who's a marine biologist, and that's his office pictured on the cover of the book that's in red. Then there was Mac, who was a sort of a derelict kind of resident there. And then Lee Chong ran a local grocery store. And then there was Dora Flood, who ran the Bear Flag restaurant, which actually was a bordello there in Monterey. These characters and others had adventures and misadventures, and it just made the book a very interesting read. Gurley especially liked the story, and so did I, so it just made sense to go visit to see for myself where all this took place. So I was staying in Carmel, it was during that time I was staying in Carmel. So I took a bus over to Monterey, and it was time well. It didn't disappoint. Ocean View Avenue was renamed Cannery Row for the book, and it was basically just around the corner from the bus station. So that was nice. You know, I walked. I just got to the head of the street, and there they were. The cannery buildings lined both sides of the street for several blocks. It was just like almost visiting the setting of the book, even all these years later. Now, Doc was actually a marine biologist who was named Ed Ricketts. So Ed Ricketts was the real person, and his office is still there. On down toward the end of Cannery Row, there's a well-known aquarium that sits there. It's the Monterey Bay Aquarium. I didn't go in there. Sort of wish I had. Also, near the bus stop, there was a local history museum, and somehow these small museums that concentrate on the local area, really you learn quite a bit there. So I did enjoy going through the exhibits in that museum and learning just a little bit about the settlement of the Monterey area. And actually, Monterey is an eclectic and diverse area. They have a well-known music festival there. That Monterey is definitely worth another visit and spending more time there. All I did was spend an afternoon, but it certainly was a good visit on a beautiful day. I've got this lookout point to myself today. It's Monday, July the 21st. I passed by this vista point yesterday and it was crowded, but today, Monday, about 11 o'clock, there's nobody here, so I've got it to myself.
Yeah, but what's right is right, but you ain't been right yet. Rain is good for me if I'm walking, and that's what they'll do. But one of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over me.
I had planned to ride the city buses while I was in San Francisco, so I spent some time at home studying the map. And when I got into town, I bought myself a 3 day transit pass and figured that I was good to go. So the next morning, I wanted to go across town to Ghirardelli Square, so I went to the bus stop near the hotel and stood there and waited. I was waiting on bus 14. Waited and waited and waited. No 14 ever came by. So I randomly walked a couple of blocks to a different stop and just got on the first bus that came along. This one took me to the middle of Chinatown where I hadn't been before. I sat there and waited until everybody got off, and I thought I would just keep riding the bus, but no, the driver said I had to get off too. So I told her where I wanted to go, and she pointed to a place across the street where I could catch another bus. So I stood there, and sure enough, managed to get to Ghirardelli Square just fine. Had a nice visit there, and then realized I was across town and would need to find some way to get back to the hotel. So I randomly got on a bus which took me down past the city hall, and since I was already over there, I just stayed on there and rode around to the Castro district and saw some parts of the town. It took me most of the day, but that was an interesting bus adventure.
So stay ready, because here it comes, guys. Here it comes. Here it comes, guys. Here it comes. Here it comes, and there it is! Oh, no, that's not it. I got excited. That's not it. Yeah, when we get out the tunnel, you got 3 light posts. Once we pass this third light post, We got a beautiful view of the Golden Gate Bridge. Now, the Golden Gate Bridge is famous, but it's not famous for its beauty. It's famous because it was the middle of the Golden Gate Bridge at a different angle right here. Right here. Boop. Alrighty, guys. Now over to our right, you get a beautiful view looking over into the East Bay. And you're also going to see two islands over there. The smaller island with the buildings on it, that's Alcatraz Island. Alcatraz used to be a federal penitentiary. Now it's a tourist attraction. The large island to our far right over there, that's Angel. Making our way into Marin County. Marin County is one of the wealthiest counties in the United States, folks. Over to our left-hand side, you're going to see that hillside over there. That's the Marin Headlands. Home to a lot of wildlife. If you're wondering why, because here it comes, and there it is. Take a picture, 7-Eleven. Take a picture.
Definitely the chilliest day of the week. Luckily, I didn't have anything extensive planned that day, so I got up and walked down to the ferry building, which was at the foot of California Street where the hotel was. I got down there to the ferry building and it turned out it was full of these really nice shops. So I was able to shop in there as long as I wanted to. And also another reason I'd gone down to the ferry building was to watch the runners come in as they finished the marathon that day. After I watched the marathon finish for a while, I decided to walk south around the convention center and the art museum. And by the time I had got that circle done, I was chilled to the bone, and that was it for the day.
Like before zone, but not this one looks pretty good. There could be a lot of close race paint on
The top of Telegraph Hill, I couldn't have picked a better place to go for my last evening. There was supposed to be parrots up here, but I believe these are crows instead. I think what this thing is doing is mapping out the streets it's on. These driverless cabs are everywhere in town here.